local all morning. This is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
We are tracking Hurricane Erin this morning. As you can see from the forecast, it's not expected to make landfall.
Still, the hurricane is churning up big waves and strong riptides. We have a live look here. This is Stonington right now. Fox 61's Glenn Kittle is there. We're going to check in with him in just a few minutes. He's going to have a lot of information on how you can stay safe if you are heading to the beaches today and this weekend. Well, good morning to you and happy Friday. Thanks for starting yours off with us here at Fox 61 and Fox 61 Plus America areas.
And I'm Bridget Bureau, TGIF. We're all ready for the weekend. But first, let's check in with Rachel Piscatelli to see how the weekend's looking, and also the impacts of the hurricane doesn't look as significant as it could have been, right?
No, I mean, we were spared the brunt of it. Yesterday afternoon, Rachel Frank tweeted a picture of where Erin was and where our state was. And I texted her back and I said, hey, you know, that was a very scary picture of just how close that storm got. However, we were spared certainly the worst of it, with the main impacts really for beachgoers and boaters. If you're on the water, we have some choppy conditions and some really difficult conditions in terms of rip currents and things like that. So it's going to be a beautiful day today. No weather issues with the wind that is going to actually back off over time today, but beachgoers still need to be careful as that rip current risk is going to extend into this upcoming weekend, mainly for those Atlantic Ocean facing beaches. Here's Hurricane Erin right now. Latest advisory coming in at 5 a.m. Still maintaining a Category 1 strength at 90 miles per hour, and it's still moving pretty fast at 22 miles per hour. Temperatures right now around 51 degrees in Torrington. It's 55 in Meriden, 58 degrees in New Haven. Out the door, we have a little bit of wind, anywhere from 5 to 15, gusting a little bit higher, close to 20 miles per hour. And over time today, those winds are going to back off. So by the afternoon and evening, anticipating less wind. A lot of sun around throughout the day from northwestern Connecticut all the way down to the beaches of northeastern areas, with temperatures that'll be up around 80 degrees this afternoon. It's going to be a lovely day overall. As we head into this upcoming weekend, there's really no weather issues in terms of our sky conditions over the course of the next 3 days or so. Another opportunity for rain is going to move in for Monday. We'll have more details on that, walk you through your hour by hour coming up in just a bit. As we check in with the roads this morning here at 6:02. Overall, I think our drives are looking pretty good this morning. So we're taking a look at our Fairfield County drive times. From Bridgeport into Fairfield is around 6 minutes. Darien to Westport is 6. We are also looking at the Trumbull to Westport on the Merritt Parkway is a fine 12-minute drive. A live look outside on 95 this morning, just over in the Fairfield area. You can see volume starting to pick up on that southbound side. Northbound is running smoothly. Bridget.
Rachel, thank you. 6:02 now, and we continue to follow Hurricane Erin and how it will impact us here in Connecticut.
Yeah, it's churning right now just south of Cape Cod. Take a look. You can see it is far away in the Atlantic Ocean. Our forecasters say Hurricane Erin will not make landfall, and it's expected to continue heading north and away from the U.S. Oh, the storm's still churning up the water off the shoreline, and that didn't stop surfers from taking advantage of some huge waves. Check out this video here yesterday. This is from Rockaway Beach in New York. People from New Jersey to Massachusetts are being warned to stay out of the water until things calm down. And while Long Island protects Connecticut from most of the rough surf, there is still a risk for rip currents. So the best way is to stay out of the water if you are going to be heading to the beach.
Yeah, Fox 61's Glenn Kittle joining us live in Stonington this morning. Glenn, how are the conditions there this morning?
Yeah, good morning, Bridget, Erica. The waves here and the conditions here, definitely still some rough surf as Erin makes its way up the East Coast. So about an hour ago, we were seeing the waves catch to about 2 or 3 feet here at the East Point, but now they're kind of starting to surge up to about 4 or 5 feet as the morning goes on. Just kind of check out some of the rough surf that we got going on here. Occasionally, we'll get one of the bigger waves crash up against the shoreline here and the water spits up, but really just some rough surf out there for boaters and swimmers alike. Officials, as you just said earlier, advising folks to stay off the beaches and stay out of the water until all of this calms down. We were out here yesterday afternoon as well. That was when some of the rough surf was also prevalent. We spoke to some people that were spectating some of the waves here, and they tell us that they're enjoying the waves from a safe distance. Oh, well, we had a soundbite there that we couldn't get for you, but they were enjoying the waves from a safe distance yesterday. Now, because of the conditions at sea created by Erin, ferry service from New London to Block Island, that's canceled again today. There is some rough surf bring those rip currents along as well. Officials are telling folks that if you do get caught up into one, to land your bag until help can arrive. That's the best way to go about it. They're also saying to stay away from the beaches until all of this calms down. And if you are going to go in the water, make sure that there is a lifeguard or someone present to keep you safe. Live in Stonington, Glenn Kittle, Fox 61.
All right, Glenn, thanks for the update there. Well, people in Waterbury's Willow Hillside neighborhood might see more police presence and also a mobile command unit. Waterbury Police Chief Fernando Spagnolo says that they brought the mobile command post to that area after a double shooting that happened over the weekend. Now, that is the same area where a 17-year-old high school senior was killed back in July. Police say she was just an innocent bystander. Spagnolo says that they are working closely with neighborhood groups and other city departments to stabilize the neighborhood. Some neighbors we spoke with say that they've already noticed less crime.
It's sending a message that, yeah, we don't want this here no more. It's plain and simple. It's a good thing that they are here.
Now, the police chief says he doesn't know how long the mobile command unit is going to stay there, but says it's not going anywhere until they come up with some longer-term solutions to reduce violence in that neighborhood.
6:06 now. Connecticut Republicans say they have new questions after emails were leaked that show people in former President Biden's Justice Department were against a controversial clemency grant to a Connecticut criminal. Then President Biden pardoned Adrienne Peeler, who you see right there, days before he left the White House. Peeler is the Bridgeport man who was sentenced to 35 years for conspiracy to commit murder in the death of an 8-year-old boy and his mother. But now the Heritage Foundation funded oversight project says leaked emails show officials were against the clemency. Associate Deputy Attorney General Brad Weimsheimer referenced Peeler's case that shows the victim's family would oppose his release. Biden ultimately granted that clemency to Peeler anyway. So now, State Senators Stephen Harding, Heather Summers, and Rob Sampson say they think these new emails are grounds for a new investigation. In a statement sent to Fox 61, they wrote, quote, former President Biden's outrageous grant of clemency to Peeler was a terrible miscarriage of justice. Now we see that befuddled top Biden Justice Department officials were expressing serious concerns. It raises fresh questions about the legitimacy of that executive action, end quote. Peeler was released last month. 6:07 now. While Tweed New Haven Airport is celebrating a big step forward in its expansion project, not everyone in the community is on board.
Yeah, people who live near the airport say the growth brings real problems to their neighborhoods. Fox 61's Priscilla Mays is joining us with more on their concerns. Priscilla, good morning to you.
Good morning, Bridget, Erica. Now, Tweed Airport may have unveiled new renderings of its east terminal design, but for neighbors nearby, the conversation is less about what the new building will look like and more about how the expansion is affecting their daily lives. Now, at one project meeting in early June, neighbors expressed air quality, parking, and noise remain at the top of their list of frustrations. One neighbor expressed they've been asking the airport to take pollution concerns seriously. Airport officials already announced a residential air program providing hundreds of high-efficiency air purifiers to homes in the area at no cost, but some believe it's still not enough.
You said you put out stuff for the air, for the pollution and everything. I want one put on my property. I've been asking you for over a year now to do that for us.
It's not just what's in the air, but what's happening on the ground.
It's not just airport people that are coming and parking in our space and throwing beer bottles all over the place. And people would like to have certain things done, but I think that a lot of times when people say we ought to have a law, there is a law, but it's not being enforced.
Now, airport officials say they're working to keep an open dialogue with neighbors, especially now that they've hit the 60% design milestone. But people say they want actions, not just conversations. Priscilla Meza, Fox 61.
Yeah, Priscilla, these neighbors have been raising concerns for years. Hopefully they're heard soon. 6:09 now. West Hartford has been working to address safety concerns for people who walk and bike through the city. It's called the Vision Zero Initiative. The most recent project included installing raised crosswalks at 4 different school zone areas. They make cars slow down and people who walk on the sidewalk a bit more visible. Fox 61's Jamel Johnson spoke with people in the community who say this is long overdue.
A project like this came at the perfect time. School is back in session next week, so this makes it safer for students to walk to school. I spoke with people in the area and they say West Hartford is growing and something like this makes it safer with more cars on the road. As a part of the Vision Zero initiative, West Hartford installed raised crosswalks in 4 different school zones. One of them was on King Philip Drive, right across the street from King Philip Middle School. Spencer Patterson has lived on King Philip Drive for 32 years, and as a parent and former math teacher, getting kids to school safe is first and foremost on his mind. According to the city, the raised crosswalks are 3 to 4 inches high, and while Spencer believes they've largely been effective, he wishes they were a little higher, similar to a speed bump.
My granddaughter's crossing the street after they put in the signals to warn people to slow down. She hits the button. She waits for traffic to stop in one direction. Traffic in the other direction keeps coming through. It does maybe need to have a little bit higher arc. I mean, you get a nice SUV, something like that Pathfinder that's coming down here moving at 40 miles an hour, that's like hitting a pothole. You just keep rolling. It's a start. It's a good start, especially in this location with school starting. It's a start. But the overall problem of speeding on this road, that's not going to handle it. The locations of these newly raised crosswalks are here at King Philip Drive, Oakwood Avenue at Sydney Avenue, Richmond at Barksdale Road, and Boulevard at LeMay Street. To read up on the full list of Vision Zero projects, head to fox61.com. In West Hartford, Jamel Johnson, Fox 61.